Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about my biggest Pokemon investing mistakes. Also, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my thoughts and opinions. Do your own due diligence. Let's get into it. Rule number one is don't rip your products. There's going to be a lot of times where you're tempted to open product because it's just fun and it's really entertaining. And oftentimes, if you like to invest, in things that you believe in or sets that you like. So sometimes you are sitting on a bunch of product that looks really nice and you want to crack it. But every time you crack it, you have to acknowledge that you're basically playing a scratch off. You're buying a lottery ticket, you are gambling, and there's a good chance that you're probably going to lose your money. And if you get in close to MSRP, it's not as big of a deal. But sometimes when you're a Pokemon investor, you can get in for well over MSRP. And if you're cracking packs at that price, you're really doing yourself a little bit of a disservice unless you're really trying to master something or collect something. But if you're just ripping because you have an itch to open something and there's a couple of cool chase cards in the set, then you're really just losing a lot of money for not a good chance of a return, in my opinion. I think the best thing to do when you're collecting is just buy singles off eBay. That's how I've gotten back into collecting, with collecting the WotC, like OG stuff in Japanese. And for me, I just think there's times where you're going to want to open your product, and every time you do, it could be fun. You might get something cool. It has happened to me in the past, but 80 to 90% of the time, you're going to probably wish you still had that sealed product later on. For example, I had tag team boxes. I had some Miracle Twin. I had some Double Blaze, some Sky Legend, some Remix Bout. I had all those booster boxes, and I just cracked so many of them because I wanted to get some cards. And I got some cool cards. I got some fun cards. I got like Misty's Favor in Japanese. I think that's what it's called, Misty's Favor. But realistically, I feel like it'd be a lot cooler to have those sealed booster boxes in my collection right now, even if it's just a shelf piece, even if I'm not investing, even if it's just for collecting. I still feel like that might be a little cooler than some of the individual cards I pulled, but that's very subjective, I should say that. My second mistake when it comes to Pokemon investing is not buying the stuff that I really believe in, not going with your gut. Now, I learned from my mistake this time around, and I will talk about that in a second, but you really have to trust your gut. And it's not only because sometimes your gut's going to be right and you're going to win big, but also because if you listen to other people, you might be kicking yourself if you make a mistake. If you listen to yourself and you listen to your gut and you trust your own instinct, then it's really only yourself that you can blame. So I like to get as much information from listening to all these different creators that I can in the space, and then I come up with my own decision and I go for it. But I will say there are certain times where things will just be screaming. The writing is on the wall. For example, back in the day, EV Heroes, that was a Japanese set. If you're not familiar, it was awesome, an incredible set. I heard about it coming out when I was buying those tag team boxes back in like 2020, 2021. I heard that it was about to come out, it was about to drop or something. I knew it was going to be crazy. I didn't get in. And now those boxes are sitting at, I'm not positive the price, I want to say it's around $650. I'll throw it on screen now. Like, I should have went so hard in those boxes because I just had that strong gut feeling that this was going to pop off, and I made a huge mistake by not going heavy into those. So this time around, I decided I'm not making that mistake again. I'm learning from my lesson. So I had that same gut reaction when I heard that they were bringing back a Team Rocket set, a Destined Rival set. I immediately, in my heart of hearts, knew that that was going to rip. 151 had just come out, so a lot of the OG fans like myself were coming back into the hobby, getting back into seeing all the Gen 1s, getting super excited about it. So we all jumped in, and as soon as like Team Rocket was about to drop, like in the future, I was like, people are gonna love this. There's gonna be a lot of fans coming back. First of all, who doesn't like Team Rocket? I mean, even I think the current fans can appreciate Team Rocket. I mean, I just think it was gonna blow up, and I had a feeling so strong that I put my money where my mouth is. And as I look at the price now, I'm thinking I should have gotten way more than that. The next Pokemon investing mistake is buying anything that's on the shelves. A lot of people that get into Pokemon investing will think that anything is going to go up because it has the Pokemon label on it, and they'll buy a bunch of miscellaneous crap of sets that aren't as desirable, and they'll sit on that and look all proud and make a Reddit post, and then they'll just notice that nothing's selling and nothing's really appreciating like crazy, and why am I not seeing all the rocket ship emojis like everybody else? And that's mostly because you should be a little more particular with what you buy. Just because something is on the shelves doesn't mean that you should buy it and immediately try to like flip it or scalp it or something. buy stuff that you actually like. Do yourself a favor. If you're getting into Pokemon investing and you're really just in it for the money, try to actually be a fan. Try to actually look at some cards, do a little bit of research, and get an understanding for what sets you think are actually cool and what sets you think are just big duds. The fourth biggest mistake when Pokemon investing is buying too soon. Do not buy these pre-orders on eBay when the Pokemon Center still has the stuff in stock. People are like selling stuff on eBay for a markup. I don't understand how some of these people are buying some of these prices. It doesn't make sense to me, or really doesn't make sense to me. But it's okay, because if that's what you want to do with your money, that's your prerogative. I personally am not going to do that. There may be one or two sets that if they're so damn mind-blowing and my gut feeling is so strong, maybe I'll go with it. But for the most part, every time you see one of these pre-orders or a card that just came out on a set, they're all going to be overpriced. There's too much hype on the new stuff, so it's automatically going to shoot up, and oftentimes the things will collapse. Especially when it comes to singles prices, you're going to see people constantly spend a bunch of money on this card because they think it's going to be like the hardest thing to pull. There's never going to be another one. Oh, we got to get it. I want a copy, blah, blah, blah. And then the price seems to go down. So whether you're a collector or an investor, I just feel like you should not be buying stuff immediately because it's always going to be top dollar because it has that extra hype tax on it. Mistake number 3 for Pokemon investing is only buying one product. You need to get like 2 of something at least. I think that you should at least get 2 of any particular Pokemon investment, just because that will ensure that maybe you don't make the biggest mistake. If you have 2, you can sell 1 and hold on to 1. So maybe if it quadruple, 10x's, does something crazy, you don't have to sit there and be like, man, I sold my only one. What did I do that for? Now you can look back and be like, hey, you know what? I didn't sell that one at the best price, but I have this other one to make up for it. And also, if you're a collector, it's good to buy 2 of something because you have 1 for you and then 1 to sell. And if it doubles in price, then bam, you got 1 for the collection for free. So those are my Pokemon investing mistakes. Try to learn from these. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but these are just my thoughts. Time just flies. You know, I can't believe that I've been investing in Pokemon for like 5 to 6 years at this point. It's kind of crazy. And that's the whole benefit of investing. I mean, time is going to keep flying, and whether you like it or not, you can set yourself up for it, or you can kind of just like see what happens. And I like to set myself up. I like to plant these seeds, and then later down the line you see what happens. You know, do the sit-ups, eat the salad, invest in the thing, and you'll be happy that you did later down the line. So I'm really feeling good about my Pokemon portfolio. I've seen some sales on eBay that have hit $550 for Destiny Rivals right now, and that is making me feel really good because it's nerve-wracking when you're dropping thousands of dollars into children's cardboard. Let's be real, it's nerve-wracking, but at the end of the day, it's paying off. I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling happy, and I hope you are too. Have a good rest of your day. Love you, and I'll see you in the next one.